So the purpose of this webcast is to discuss the J100 program. It's a program we are in the third phase of. It's a partnership between Atlanta United and Local Initiative Support Corporation with the goal to create up to 100 mini pitches across the state of Georgia as we head towards the 2026 World Cup. The focus of this program is to put these mini pitches in low to moderate income neighborhoods that demonstrate organized youth soccer programming and community access. So to be eligible for the grants, there must be some sort of youth soccer programming on the potential field that you are applying for, mini pitch you are applying for, sorry. And these grants are available up to $75,000 and they require a one-to-one match. The criteria to be eligible apply are the following. Must be a community-based organization or an elementary, middle, or high school serving a low to moderate income community within the state of Georgia. If you are a school, you're applying from a school, must demonstrate the ability or access for a local community beyond your current after-school programming or physical education. So there must be some sort of access to the greater community for the mini pitch. Typically, this is done on open access on weekends or maybe after school time. So in your proposal, you should demonstrate that. You must have at least one full-time staff person on your staff, someone who will be the point of contact to manage the process. If you are granted the award, the person that would fill out status reports, that would give us updates, that would direct the funds to the contractor or to make the purchases, things like that. The organization must be in existence for at least 3 years. If you're a community development organization, you should have some sort of real estate development track record or community development and or athletic programming or partners that possess these traits. You must be a 501c3 if you're not a school, and you must be located in the state of Georgia. The application procedures as follows. You must submit your proposal to sportsandrec@LISC.org. Do not submit your proposal to Atlanta United. All the proposals go through Local Initiative Support Corporation at the email on the screen. Please include the following: a cover sheet that has contact information, the organization's name, the address, phone number, email, a brief description of the project. If you're revitalizing an existing mini pitch, if you're creating one from scratch, if it's a smaller mini pitch than typically used, or if it's a hard court, just gave a brief description of what the project is, how much you're requesting, and the address of the project site. The application should include a narrative that does not exceed 5 pages. In this narrative, you should focus on, most of the narratives focus on the project itself, how you're going to accomplish this project, the funds you have in place, the design elements, the location, the impact, the youth that will be served, the other community members that will be served by the project. Also include a brief history of your organization, some accomplishments, so that we can get a sense of your organization and your capacity to manage this project, your mission, your history. It should include a project timeline, budget, discuss how you're going to match the grant. Again, every grant must have a one-to-one match. So if you're going to raise the funds, if you have the funds on hand, if you're getting a donation, if you're getting in-kind donations, this should be mentioned in the proposal. Timeline, so we have a general idea of how, if the project is shovel ready, It's going to take a longer time. The improvements, the dimensions of the mini pitch, the type of surface, if there's going to be lighting, if there's going to be other signage, please include that. If there's going to be other amenities like bleachers, like a concession stand, other things, please be as descriptive as possible. And again, I mentioned this earlier, but again, focus on the impact on the community. How many youth are going to benefit from this? How many leagues are going to participate and have access to this space? If you're a school, go into the soccer programming, your community partners that will be allowed to use the mini pitch outside of your own physical education department or your own sports department. And there's other organizational attachments and project attachments that are mentioned in the RFP that you definitely should include. These are organizational attachments. We need proof that you are a 501c3, the IRS W-9 form, the 2 most recent audited financial statements. If I know some smaller organizations may not have this. If you have specific other documents in lieu of the financial statements, reach out to us to see if we would accept those. The most recent IRS 990 form, well, preferably 2020. If you don't have 2020, we'll accept 2019. A current list of your organization's board of directors and their contact information and email address will suffice. We don't need, their full address. But we do need a list of the board of directors just to verify the status of your organization. The project attachments, like I said earlier, timeline and budget are very important in the evaluation process. If there are outside organizations that are providing the match, that are donating the match, if you have commitment letters from those organizations, please include those. That strengthens your proposal. 5-year maintenance plan. This is important for us to know that the mini pitch, that this project will be sustainable. Grant funds cannot be used for operational expenses or maintenance expenses. Those funds are strictly for the hard costs of construction. So for us to evaluate your proposal, we need to see that the organization has the capacity to maintain the mini pitch for at least 5 years through some sort of maintenance plan, whether it's your local parks department that would maintain the space, if you have an outside vendor, if your organization is going to maintain the space yourself, give a brief summary of how you maintain the space and an estimate of what that cost would be. Like I said, the field is the mini pitch design, renderings if you have that, if you have drawings, if you have just photos, anything to just help paint the picture of what the mini pitch will look like. Letters of support from local organizations are helpful. Definitely strengthen your proposal. If there's other youth soccer leagues, other organizations that will definitely benefit and that will utilize the space, they should provide letters of support that shows that this is a community project that the greater community will definitely benefit. That will strengthen your proposal. List of the youth soccer leagues that will use the space, or other non-soccer organizations, whether it's other nonprofits that may use the space for other events, things like picnics or scholastic events, anything like that, anything creative outside of soccer that would also help your proposal. This is the criteria of how we will select grant award winners. We will look at the feasibility of the proposed project. Is the project in an area that will thrive? Is it located where there are other a vast number of youth, and then the space will be utilized? Are the project budget and scopes realistic? We look at the project readiness. Ideally, we're looking for projects that will be completed within a year. We do understand with COVID, things are delayed. So between a year and a half, ideally, or less, ideally, those are the projects we like to fund. We looking for shovel ready projects. The impact on the neighborhood and the community. Um, Again, how many people will benefit, specifically youth. How many leagues are involved. Um, the goal is really to make this an accessible space for as many people as possible. We're not looking for projects that are going to close off the community and only, you know, only a small number of users would actually have access to the space. Security and maintenance, is there capacity to maintain the space, like I mentioned before, to secure the space? Are there entities in place, people in place to schedule the field, to make sure it's looked after and maintained? Your organization's capacity, do you have a history of managing projects like this? Have you managed grant awards before and seen these projects to the finish line? Those sorts of things should be mentioned in your narrative to show that your organization has the ability to take on these projects to manage the grant and have success. And finally, recreation programming. How many youth are involved in your specific league, if you have a league, or if you're a school? Again, how many others in the community will be able to utilize it, either for open play or for organized leagues outside of your specific league or your specific school? Here's a brief timeline. We've already launched and we're accepting proposals August 9th. The proposal deadline is August 29th. Between October 30th and November 20th is when we'll be conducting our review, give or take a few days. And we hope to make award announcements and notify everyone whether they received an award or not, of their status regarding the projects, regarding your proposal. These are our contacts. Beverly Smith is a vice president of LISC Sports and Recreation. She's the main contact. You can also contact myself, Kwame Flaherty. My email is kflaherty@lisc.org, or sportsandrec@lisc.org is where you can reach us. Our contacts and our partners with the Arthur Blank Foundation and Atlanta United are also on the screen if you have other questions. With that, you can put questions in the chat. If there's any questions you'd like me to answer, or you can raise your hand and I'll try to answer your questions. Doesn't seem we have any questions. Surprise. I will put my email in the chat in case there are questions later. Again, we're really excited about this program. To date, we have funded 12 projects in the first two phases. We're hoping, as knock on wood, as COVID becomes more under control, and there are more organizations who can actually get out and do projects and do construction, that we're looking to fund a lot more and get more projects done. But we're really excited about the ones we've already funded. You can see information about the projects we've already funded at the Atlanta United website or at LISC.org in the Sports and Rec section. And again, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or just the Sports and Rec at LISC email in general, and someone will definitely get back to you. Thank you. We look forward to everyone's proposals and are excited about phase 3. Thank you.